Hello, I'm your host and beacon of truth, JJ Martin, and this is the show that blurs the lines between deception and reality. Joining me tonight in the studio, fresh off their world tour, we've got the amazing Fabrication. Also joining me tonight is prosthetic makeup artist Rachel Vernon. And kicking us off this evening will be Liverpool comedian Mike Carter. This is Lights, Camera, Lie. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem at all, mate. Anytime.
So, you've been doing comedy now for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. And one thing I'm really interested in with comedy is the writing process of jokes.
Yeah.
Now, how has that changed for you as you go along?
For me, it's gone from basically trying to string things together to try and be funny because I was messing around to like, I have to write a quality product because I'm trying to make a living off it. And the effort has become more a case of like, how do I polish this to be the finest it can be?
And how is that quality product structured for you?
For me, it's just literally a case of trial and error. You come up with an idea, you try and get it as best as you can, you put it out in front of people, and you eliminate the bits that don't work. So it's literally just like cutting off anything that isn't useful.
Yeah. So obviously, with comedians as well, people have got different styles, etc.
Yeah.
Some people like to go with strictly true things that have happened in their lives, and then other people like to fabricate their own jokes that aren't true. Where's your sort of split with that?
Somewhere in the middle. Like, mostly I talk about things that have happened to me just because I'm kind of a limited thinker. I'm not political. I'm not that creative. Yeah. So I just talk about things that have happened to me and try and exaggerate them a little bit to make them funny, or in some cases make them seem more real than they were because they were too weird to be believable.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time my auntie was told not to mention a toupee, and then asked the same guy for a wig and tonic.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Ruined the funeral.
It ruined the funeral. Whose funeral?
Hers.
So, you work at Hot Water as well?
Yeah, quite often.
So, how's Paul Smith as a guy to work with?
Honestly, he's one of the best in the business. He's like the best MC perhaps in Liverpool at the moment, but he's also just super kind, super supportive, and he hasn't changed a bit since he got mega famous.
Yeah. Now, when you're doing shows, obviously, funny people like me and you, we can see when there's tryhards, who are just
we can.
failing. How do you react when you see people just bombing on stage when they're trying to be funny?
It really depends, because you get people who are just new and trying, and then if they're willing to learn and willing to listen, you go, okay, this is how you get better. And I'm not going to pretend I'm a fully qualified expert by any stretch, but if they're just someone messing about and not taking it seriously, you just have to laugh at them.
Yeah, no, of course. Has there ever been a time where you've gone on stage and just died?
Yeah. Recently in Blackpool, I got a big opening spot at a club, and they just weren't with it, and I had to be like, you just don't like me, do you?
And how do you find that you manage to captivate audiences when you can?
You just be self-deprecating, but be honest, be real, and don't come on thinking you're the big I am. Just be as real as you can.
Fantastic. Now, Mike, this show is all about lying.
Yeah.
We're going to end off on a game of 2 truths and 1 lie.
All right.
So, will you kick us off?
Yeah, once I fell asleep on an amp at the last Libertines gig before Pete Doherty went to jail.
Right, okay.
Didn't see anything.
Yeah.
I also ran into Ken Dodd in Tesco's.
Yeah.
And Daniel Craig's mum was my art teacher.
Okay, right. Let's start here. Ken Dodd.
Yeah.
City icon.
Absolutely.
Which Tesco?
One over there in Liverpool one.
Liverpool one Tesco. Now sadly shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, a great loss for the city actually.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah, and so Daniel Craig's mum, James Bond's mum taught you art. Is that correct?
Yeah, he wasn't James Bond. Then he was the guy from Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was Mrs. Bond's name?
Mrs. Blonde.
Get lost.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It really was Carol Blonde.
Right,
oh,
okay.
Shouldn't be saying that.
And and the last one is you fell asleep at a Libertines gig.
Yeah.
How would you manage that?
Substances.
Substances. Yeah.
Yeah, and alcohol. Let's say alcohol.
And alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any Calpol involved in this?
Oh yeah, I was on the hard stuff.
On the hard stuff, yeah. Calpol and paracetamol.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't mix those two. You shouldn't mix paracetamol products, Mike.
Synatogen as well.
I don't know what that means.
One for the old elderly.
Anyway, I think, for my guess, just because I want it to be true, is that you bumped into Ken Dodd in Tesco.
I absolutely did.
You bumped into Ken Dodd in Tesco.
I really did.
And what was he like as a guy?
Honestly, he was super charming. Like, he was there with his wife, and I just saw him go, I've got to talk to this guy because he filmed a little video. My nan loved him. He said hello to me nan on the phone, and then he asked me what I do, and I didn't want to say like I'm a comedian, but he gave me so much advice.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you so much.
Anytime at all, mate. Thank you for having me.
Now, from the stage, we're going to go to the world backstage. I'm joined by prosthetic makeup artist Rachel Vernon. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic. Now, what is it that you're going to be doing with us today?
I'm going to be putting a cut in your hand.
Why? A real one?
No, a fake one.
Oh, thank God for that. Right, okay. What's the process of starting then?
So first of all, we're going to take the wax, the nose and scar wax. This is specially used for prosthetics. You want to get a fair amount onto the back of your brush.
Yeah.
Or you can get like a spatula, whatever you can just find in your house really to get out the wax.
They're often found in kitchens.
Yeah, and then you can you have to squeeze the wax, make sure it gets warm between your fingers, so it gets quite tacky. So then you can easily spread that out across the skin and have it easily blended out.
Yeah. Okay. And so what does that do then for the cut?
So that's where the cut's going to come from, because we can't really put a cut through your hand, so we use the wax
Right, yeah, fair enough.
to be able to put that through.
And how long have you been doing all this then?
2 years.
2 years, long time, isn't it? What's this now that you're doing on here?
I'm concealing it because it is too light for your skin, the actual wax, so I need to make it a bit darker.
Well, you can't have a white cut on a brown hand, can you? That's rule one of prosthetic makeup, I heard.
It just doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. In no word of life does it?
No, it actually doesn't.
No, exactly. Okay, so now we're all browned up and everything. What's next?
Taking white powder.
White powder. Wow. Controversial one to say on the telly, but here we go.
So we're going to dab all that in onto your hand.
Yeah.
So just move it a bit more forward for me so I can actually see a bit more. And then we're just going to get this pencil and then...
Okay, right. Interesting shape going on there. Right, okay, now what's the next process now that we're all waxed up?
What I want you to do, dip into this one, and I want you to put that all right through the middle.
Right, okay. So that's just like this, right?
Yeah, going all through the middle.
Yeah. I used to cry in art lessons in school, so this is very difficult for me, Rachel.
You're doing great.
Thanks so much. All right, okay, now that's all done. What's next?
Can you get the bottom of the brush, and then you're just going to get loads of amount like that, and then you're going to put that also in the middle.
Right, okay.
And then once you've done that, you're going to take some wound filler. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a wipe so you can actually have a fresh end on it. You never want to get a lot of wound filler, you want to get a certain amount, just like that, and then you can put it directly into the wound. Sometimes you will have to use your fingers.
Right in the middle again?
Yeah. So you might want to use your fingers here. And then you just want to make sure that stays in like that, because then you can see that there.
Right,
and then you're going to go in with your fresh scratch. You're going to get
the same with this side?
Yeah.
Okay. And how come we're using this side so often?
Because it makes more sense to use that side, because that side is more like a brush that you'd use for like your makeup or something, like your everyday makeup.
Right, okay.
So now that you've done that, just going to flatten that out a bit. Going to get you to go into that.
Yeah.
Go around the cut.
Yeah.
All onto the wax.
Okay. And if anyone wanted to get started and get their own prosthetic makeup, how much would this cost them?
Well, depending on what they want to get, the products that I've got are all Ben Nye, so they're quite expensive and can range from £8 to £22.
Right, okay.
I'm also going to get you to go into that again.
With this side, or so the other side again? And it should be a pro at this by now, you know. But people make mistakes. And where's this going? Around the outside?
All
still?
around the outside.
Right, okay.
And then just going to blend that in a little bit there, so it looks more bruised and orangey when it goes around the finger. And then I'm just going to lift your hand up.
Yep.
And we're going to put some fake blood going all in.
Yep.
And then what you want to do after that, sometimes it can be just like a bit boring and you want to like add a bit more, so you'll get a bit of the blood and just start dabbing that all around the cut to make it look a lot more bruised and a lot more bloody.
That looks quite gruesome, doesn't it? If I just put that there, I mean, that looks awful, doesn't it? Not as in like it looks awful, but you know, I mean, you wouldn't want that to be real, would you?
Could get out of work.
True, good point, good point. And so, where did you learn to do this then? When did this start for you?
In college, I did it in production arts.
Production arts?
Yeah.
And how long was that course for you?
To be fair, it wasn't actually a long course. We did it for a month and then they stopped doing it, so I just decided to keep teaching myself.
Well, fantastic. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, I wanted to go out into the streets of Liverpool and find out more about what the people think. So I went out into town and asked people what the biggest lie they've ever told is. This is a segment that I've named after you. This is The Traitors.
say, Ben, you've got the most fabulous facial hair I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Tonight, I'm out in Liverpool asking people what the biggest lie they've ever told is. This is The Traitors. And who am I here with today?
Terry.
Mick McDonald.
Oscar.
My name is Logan.
It's Ben.
And what is the biggest lie you've ever told?
Probably when I started a new high school and I told everyone I had a mum when I'm actually an orphan.
The biggest lie I've ever told is that I love Liverpool Football Club.
That I wasn't in love with my best friends. Now that's quite controversial. Okay.
I was told a lie earlier this week that it is safe to walk home alone in Liverpool, and it's not.
The biggest lie I've ever told is that I've never cheated on any of my ex-partners ever. And that's a big
Mainly
lie.
because I didn't want them to make fun of me. It was either me tell them I had a mum or make them feel like shit. Am I allowed to say shit? Am I allowed to say sorry?
You say whatever you want.
Do you sport?
Everton.
Everton. I've never met a happy Everton fan. Are you a happy Everton fan?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, 2 years. And did you eventually tell her? No, she was a lesbian and got off with someone 3 years older.
I had my ass beat by some guys because they didn't like the accent, which I know it's a rough accent, but they didn't enjoy it very much, and so they...
And how many ex-partners have you cheated on?
All right, probably about 11.
11. You get around them, Ben, yeah.
You know me. You know what?
To go compare ads.
Biggest lie I've ever told that I'm not sorry.
End the show.
Sambuca, mate. Just don't do it. And Mick McDonald there as well. I mean, what an absolute character. Although I'm not sure shouting I love Liverpool Football Club in the middle of Bold Street was his best idea. And also, can we just talk about Paul Leon for a second? If you're going out to batter people in groups, don't do it. Save it for the Tories. Anyway, I'm wounded and that's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for Rachel and Mike for joining me. Now, to close us out with a cover of Charles and Eddie's Would I Lie to You is the incredible Fabrication.
Na na na. Na 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 na. Would I lie to you? Look into my eyes, can't you see they're open wide? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you? Don't you know it's true? Girl, there's no one else but you. Would I lie to you, baby? Yeah. Everybody wants to know the truth. In my arms is the only proof. I've hidden my heart behind the bedroom door, and now it's open, I can do no more. I'm telling you, baby, you will never find another girl in this heart of mine. Look into my eyes, can't you see they're open wide? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you? Don't you know it's true? Girl, there's no one else but you. Would I lie to you, baby? Yeah. Everybody's got their history. On every page, a mystery. You can read my diary, you're in every line. Jealous minds are never satisfied. I'm telling you, baby, you will never find another girl in this heart of mine. Look into my eyes, can't you see they're open wide? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you? Don't you know it's true? Girl, there's no one else but you. Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie to you?